we are now going to dump the field that has been in for 21 hours. I myself put it in yesterday, and it has been there for the whole night and day. And after producing 500 inverse picobar, we are gonna dump that. So Guy, you sure? Are you ready? Yeah. Go with the switch. Boom. Oh, done. Beam is done. No more beam in the machine. And this physics field is over. And now what we will do, we ramp down the magnets. We prepare for injection, and then we'll inject again the 2200 bunches from the SPS, and we'll go again for another fill of physics. So Nicola, please tell us, what do we see on the screens over there?
The first screen in the left, we can see the beam produced in the LINAC. We can see all the beam we can deliver, so LHC beam, ISOLT beam, all type. The screen just under on the booster.
So this one,
yes.
Okay.
We can see the BLM.
So the BLM, so the losses that we have all around the ring.
The booster, yes.
Yep.
On the right, we can see the PSB main page. We can see the name of the beam, the ring injected and injected, and the intensity produced.
So there is a cavity which is down.
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing to restart it?
We have to do a reset, and we have to wait until the status is okay.
Okay, so we cannot have beam at the LHC till when the cavity is not restarted
Yes.
and everything is back in order.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Is it the phone with an expert? There is a problem apparently, and so he's contacted the expert and he's gonna try and fix the problem that he's experiencing. So Raul, the problem is fixed. You were experiencing some problem earlier. You were with an expert at the phone, isn't it?
Yes, we have a problem with the injection kicker. Okay. So now we see the signal in here that is nice, and now I'm going to check the splitting and emittance for the LHC beam, because they are going to take the beam soon. So I have to be sure that the beam is okay for them.
What is the splitting?
So basically we take the beam from the booster, and what we do, we can split it with the RF system, and we can separate to make some bunches.
Okay.
That is the signal that I get. So what we try to have is an equal distribution of all bunches. So now here you can see the emittance that we have to check every shift that we do. So that means 3 times per day. And we put it in our logbook that you can see here, our logbook.
Okay, thank you, Raul.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna see Denis.
I'm the PS shift leader. I have to take care of the 2 previous guys, the PS operator and booster operators, and to take care of what they did on the machine.
Okay.
So now I'm updating the message on the main page of the PS to say the problem of the injection kicker is solved. So I just want to remove this.
So your job is easy. If the other 2 guys are doing their job properly, you have nothing to do.
Yeah. No, I can answer phone calls. I can answer questions.
Come on, well, I know that in reality you check all the parameters of the beam, and you really look at the quality of the beam. So you check that everything is working fine in this part of the complex, isn't it?
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, we move now to the next stage, which is the SPS, and we go on the other island. Okay, here we go. The SPS, the last ring before the LHC. Diego is with us. Hi Diego, so please tell us what you're doing.
We are checking all the parameters and doing some measurements to be sure that all the parameters of the beam of the LHC are good, and when everything is more or less good for us, we are just saying to the LHC operators that they can take the beam and eject for the LHC filling.
Okay.
Like here you can see on with this injection kicker. So this is the transfer line between the SPS and the PS, and after this you can see all the injection oscillation in the SPS on the horizontal plane and the vertical plane.
So we see that the beam is already pretty well good aligned inside the SPS.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can maybe see here a measurement of wire scanner, emittance measurement.
Okay, can you show us as well the 48 bunches as we have seen already in the SPS?
Is there with the fast BCT, a measurement of the 48 bunches in the SPS at flat bottom.
And the homogeneity is acceptable for you in this moment
Yes.
to inject into the LHC?
Yes, this is set on the PS island with the splitting, and on the booster with the equality of the ring. And for us is pretty well set it. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much. We'll see then how this beam is injected into the LHC. Okay, we go now and take the beam into the LHC. The pilot is already circulating into the SPS. Everything is ready. We can just request the pilot for the two rings. So the beam will be accelerated all along the chain that we have seen and finally injected into the LHC at point 2 and at point 8. Okay, you see now beam 2 appearing first. Here it is. This is the orbit of the first pilot circulating into the machine. And you see the orbit, we have huge oscillation that will correct now in a few seconds. We'll correct down to almost a flat orbit. And you'll see at the next cycle the beam 1 appearing on the left. There we go. So both beams are in, one bunch per ring, and we'll correct now the orbit. And you'll see that the orbit goes down. We'll correct the oscillation, so the orbit is going flat. So we are setting up the ideal orbit for the particles that will be injected, the bunches and the particles that will be injected later. We're going to inject today 2,220 bunches per ring. We now measure and correct the other parameters of the beams. We are now first checking the tunes of the two beams, so essentially the number of oscillations that are done in the horizontal, in the vertical plane. We have a fixed number which is very important for the operation of the machine there, and you see that the peak has to correspond, the measured tune has to correspond to the value that we have set for the machine. So essentially we have a lot of automatic tools that are helping us, assisting us every moment of our activity to set up properly inside the LHC. So now that the tune is fine, we correct another parameter, which is the chromaticity. So we are now measuring the chromaticity of the beam, applying a modulation on the beam, which is the beam is moving in the horizontal plane with an RF modulation. And now essentially with the pilots we have set up all the parameters, important parameters of our machine, and we can safely inject the high intensity beams into the LHC. So we'll go first with 12 bunches. So the pilots are with something around between 6 and 9, 10 to the 9 proton per bunch, while the high intensity beams will have 1.1 roughly 10 to the 11 particles per bunch. So 110 billions of particles per bunch. It's a very dangerous beam. That's why we have to first set everything with the pilot, which is a non-dangerous intensity, and then we can inject the intensity into the LHC. Okay, Guy?
Are we ready to take the real beam?
SPS, are we ready with the beam? Okay, the beam is being fully accelerated till the maximum energy 450 GeV into the SPS and extracted for the LHC. We are ready now to take the beam. The SPS has set everything correctly, and we go back to the LHC and we take the beam. Guy, the SPS is ready in the SPS. Okay, we can go with the high intensity beams. Okay. The request has been sent, so 12 bunches first, and the beam will be soon accelerated up to from 26 up to 450 GeV, and finally extracted into the LHC, and you see it.